Hey, it is 12 noon on Friday, which means it's time for this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrisma. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every Friday, 12 noon Eastern time, to help you understand how to grow your real estate business. And maybe you're looking to start a real estate business, but you're trying to figure out how to make it all work. Now, one of the great ways to start a real estate business is part-time. Yeah, ultimately, you might want to be full-time, overtime in real estate. But look, it all starts with just a little bit of something. And most agents actually start in real estate part-time. So I want to go over today the things it is that you should be doing, things it is you shouldn't be doing, and ultimately how to make it work to start part-time in real estate. So any of you guys, if you're tuning in and maybe you're not brand new to real estate, maybe you are, just let us know where you're tuning in from in the chat. If you're with a brokerage, go ahead and drop your brokerage name in there as well, so we know who we've got on the stream today, because we want to help the newbies out. We want to help the people that are trying to start a career in real estate. And look, I know what that's like. I remember when I got my real estate license and, just trying to figure everything out. And I wish there was, and that's kind of why we do this. I wish there was something like this that I could tune into every week and keep me accountable and keep me on track and keep me towards hitting my goals. But, we've got that now. So let's help everyone out. Let us know where you're tuning in from, what brokerage you're with, if you've already got a real estate license. This is State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrisma. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. Super excited to bring today's episode to you. Let's get to it. State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrisma. The show's brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. I'm loading up the chat here, so wherever you're tuning in from, drop that in the comments. If you're somewhere here local in Tampa, or maybe you're tuning in from somewhere else in the country, maybe somewhere else on this place we call Earth. But look, topic of today's episode is starting part-time. Part-time. How to get started part-time in real estate. First, let's answer that question. Do you want to start part-time? A lot of times, you don't have any choice other than to start part-time in real estate. Maybe you're not ready to just walk away from everything that you've got going on. Maybe you've got a good career, but, maybe it's getting to the point where you're like, I really want to try something new. I'm getting bored with this. I liked it. It was good when we started out with it, but ultimately, I want to try something new. So, if you're going to start part-time, I would recommend it. There are cases for where you want to just go completely full-time in real estate, but for most people, it makes the most sense to jump right into it. So, yes, you should. If it's an option, if that's what you're thinking about, whether or not you should start part-time in real estate, go for it. There's a lot of successful agents, pretty much all successful agents usually start part-time in real estate. But there are some rules. There are some rules if you want to, again, make this successful. So, starting part-time in real estate, let's say let's lay this out here. Let's say you've got your week, your Monday, your Tuesday, your Wednesday, your Thursday, your Friday, your Saturday, and your Sunday. So here's your week. So you've got your week laid out, and then you've got your time for the week. Let's say you wake up, let's call it 6 a.m. And, maybe you're not up at 6 a.m. You could adjust this as accordingly. It's great if you're able to do this exercise with us. If you can, pull out a piece of paper, work this out. And look, even if you're in real estate, this is a useful exercise to see where your time actually is going. But yeah, let's say 6 a.m. And let's say you go to sleep at, let's give you 7 hours of sleep. Let's say 11 p.m. So there's your days, there's your week, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. And everybody's going to be different with this, but let's say that you work from, we'll say 9 to 5. That's the cliche one, the 9 to 5, that you're working a 9 to 5. And so what you've got currently with, let's say, and again, this might be different, and that's why you want to do this exercise yourself. Let's say you got your 9 to 5 here. And really, you're probably not working on Saturday and Sunday. Probably not working 7 days a week, 9 to 5. And then let's also say you got a lunch hour in here too. So let's say at noon, 12 to 1. It's your lunch hour. So maybe that's why you're tuning in here today, because 12 to 1 is your lunch hour. So now, if we fill in what you've got for your full-time job, and maybe you're working more hours than this. Again, this might deviate slightly. But do you see a lot of white space on this calendar? I know I do. There's a lot of space available. Even working, some sort of full-time job, you've got a lot of room, a lot of time. Now, on top of that, you might have some commuting. Maybe you're leaving at 8:30, so on top of that, you got a little bit extra time here that you got to cut away for commuting to work and then commuting back home. And then on top of that, you got to eat too. Let's say that, you're eating here. It doesn't take an hour to eat a meal. And then let's say you're having some breakfast too at some point here in the morning. Really, you're probably doing that throughout the week. And then you're probably going to have some dinner here at night. There's still a lot of space that's not spoken for. Haven't we filled this in yet? Now, maybe you say, well, I got, the kids' soccer practice. I've got the kids' soccer practice, and that's on Wednesday night. From, we'll say 7 to 8. And really, it's like 6:30 to 8:30. So they've got that time cut out. And then they've got their games and whatnot on, Saturday, let's say from 11 to 2, we'll say. I don't know. Again, I'm just trying to be fictitious with this here. You might not have kids. You might not have a job. So that if you don't have a job right now, get yourself a job, whether it's real estate or otherwise. You need some way to get some money coming in. Get some money coming in. Maybe you're able to do that without working, and that's great. Then you could make that jump full-time into real estate right away without having to worry about anything because you don't have anything on your schedule. But I take it most of you guys watching this, you've got all this stuff going on. And you might sit there and wonder, maybe while you're at work, you're sitting there wondering, how am I going to make this work? How am I going to be able to work in real estate while still having this job? Do I have to quit this job to be able to make time for real estate? And look, here's something. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but before we go to break, I want to leave you with this, is while you're working, especially if you're working like these 9 to 5 hours like this here, what do you think your clients are doing, or your potential clients? Say you haven't even got your license yet, you're just thinking about this. What do you think your potential clients are doing during the time that you're working, especially if that's in business hours that you're working? They're working too. They're not taking off of work or skipping out on work to go look at houses, although in your career you might come across clients who will do that, who are, yeah, I'm supposed to be at work, but you know what, we need to get our house on the market, so I wanted to meet with you here instead of going to work. Maybe you've got a job where you can get away with things like that, which will make it even easier for you to start a real estate career. But chances are, this time is already spoken for, it's already accounted for, and while you're there, you're maybe thinking, I really want to give real estate a shot. I've been really thinking about it hard. I just don't know if I'm able to make it work. This exercise here of laying out, what time we've got available, we've got a lot of white space here. So that's the first thing you've got to do. The first really rule of this is realize when it is that you could devote time to building your real estate career. Because it will take work. And the longer you go at it, the more time it is and effort that you put in, the more success you'll ultimately have. But it all starts basically with nothing. You start your real estate career with really nothing but a real estate license. And that real estate license isn't what makes you money. It's you using that real estate license that makes you money. It's you meeting people, meeting clients, meeting buyers, meeting sellers, and closing deals with them that gets you paid. So that's what you're having to find time for. I mean, obviously studying a little bit and taking the class and whatnot to get the real estate license, but now more importantly, once you've got that license, what do you do? What should you be doing in this time? We've already kind of made the case here that even if you are working full time, and even if it's slightly more hours than this, and look, I'm not even like doing anything ridiculous. I still accounted for 7 hours of sleep, which you might not even sleep that much as is, so maybe now you have even more time. Let's say you go to bed at midnight instead of 11 and you're only getting 6 hours. I'm good on 6 hours of sleep. That's usually what I go to. Maybe a little bit longer if I've maybe been a little bit more physical or had a little bit more exhausting of a day or anything like that. But look, I mean, I'm accounting for 7 hours of sleep, and there's a lot of white space that we've got in here. It's just a matter of using it wisely, and that's what we're going to talk about next. But first, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Stick with us. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching State of Real Estate. What's required to become a Florida real estate broker? Well, a few things. Number one, you have to have at least 2 years experience as a sales associate or a broker. Now, this experience could actually even be earned outside of Florida. It just has to be 2 years within the last 5 years. So 2 years of experience to become a broker. You also need to take a pre-licensing course. The broker pre-licensing course is 72 hours. It's got a 100 question and of course exam. Once you pass that and file all your paperwork with the state to upgrade to a broker license, then you just need to pass your state exam. That's another 100 question exam. You need to get a 75% on that. You complete those items and you'll have a Florida real estate broker license where you can open your own office or just remain with your current broker as a broker associate. To find out more about upgrading your real estate license to broker, check out upgradetobroker.com. That's upgradetobroker.com. You're watching State of Real Estate. And welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrismo here from the Tampa School of Real Estate. If you're new to State of Real Estate, welcome. We're here every single Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. We're here every Friday, 12 noon Eastern Time. We've been doing this show for years now. We looked at it today, I think, what are we up to, like 130 episodes or something like that? So we've been doing this for a while, and we've got a lot of topics. And the reason why we started this is, I learned that the hard way when I started my real estate career, that there's so much information. And something that I've really have come to terms with today is the more that you learn, the more you realize you don't know. I like to call it the paradox of learning. Kind of like a cheesy name for that, but the more you learn, the more you find out what you don't know. And the reason why I really struggled as a new agent was I was a know-it-all, for lack of a better term. And you might still think, wow, this guy does know a lot here when you watch our videos. And that's from experience. That's from me seeking out knowledge. That's from everything it is that I've done to really grow a career based around real estate. And it's been an exciting ride. But that's, again, going back to why we do these State of Real Estate shows, because I wish there was something like this back when I got my real estate license. YouTube and live streaming live stream wasn't even around, at least not to the extent that it is today for really even anything. I can find anything. I mean, I'm sure there were like some videos you can maybe find somewhere, and I paid coaches and things like that. But so many of these fundamentals that are just so basic and easy are so helpful. So let's get back to what we're talking about today, starting part-time in real estate. For those of you guys tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in from. If you've already got a real estate license, drop who your brokerage is. Maybe you're a broker yourself. Maybe you just joined up with a new company. Whatever it is, let us know in the comments so we know who we've got here on the stream. But look, if you're brand new and you're thinking about getting a real estate license, you've got to do this first. You've got to realize what time is already spoken for and what it is that you can and can't do. Maybe the practice here, maybe you get your spouse to take your kids to practice because you're trying to launch a real estate business. And that's a big part of this as well. Anytime you're trying to do anything, you want to ensure that your spouse is on board with you, that your spouse is there to support you and help you out in any way it is that they can. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Sometimes it's just a matter of just helping out with a little bit more, maybe around the house or with the kids or whatever it is that they could help you with. Maybe, again, there's so many things that you could you should be able to help each other out and really be a team that could help both of you be successful. Because, when one of you guys wins, the other one wins. So that's something very important whenever you're starting anything new, is make sure your spouse isn't just on board with you, but they're doing everything that they can to help you, start this whole real estate business. But let's say, again, we're trying to figure out when we could practice real estate. This time is already spoken for that we've got up here. So let's see here, kind of exhausted my color options. Let's go back to green. So green will be eating, as well as when we're going to work on our real estate business. So when can we work on a real estate business? What is it that we're doing? Let's say we've already got the license, because until you get the license, focus on getting the license, focusing on studying and be ready to pass your exam. But now once you've got the license, you're ready to go, you're registered with a broker and so on and so forth. How do you do deals? How do you do business part-time? Now, one of the things that I would strongly urge you to do as a new agent, and this is something, and again, planning this out and having this structure laid out will help ensure your success. So one of the things I would always recommend, and now this is going to be something where we might have a little bit of a conflict based on our schedule, based on this example schedule where, we were talking about the kids' soccer over here. This might conflict with that, but, we still got Sunday as well. And don't worry about what days you're going to rest. Don't worry about what days you're going to rest. You'll rest when you're sitting on top of your kingdom. And you'll be able to find time here and there to rest, but you don't need to plan to rest. That happens automatically. There's a guy that I think is a Navy SEAL, Jocko Willink or something like that is his name. And one of his books, or maybe it was an interview I listened to of something of his books are really good, so I'd recommend you check those out if you haven't already. But one of the things he says is he travels the country, and he used to be a Navy SEAL, and now he actually does business training. But one of the things that he always does, he always finds a time to work out. And you see the guy, he's like huge, he's like super jacked, and like he looks like he's a Navy SEAL. But one of the things he says is he never plans to take a day off from working out and exercising. And the reason why he doesn't plan for that day off is because he knows those are going to happen organically, that there's going to be times where he can't find time to work out, but he doesn't plan for that because he knows that life will plan for that. And so that's what you've got to keep in mind with this here. You say, oh, well, when am I going to rest? When you're sleeping in bed, you're getting rest every single day. You do the math on if you're sleeping 8 hours a night, that's 1/3 of your life. 24 hours a day, 8 hours, 1/3 of your life that you're resting. And you're telling me you need even more rest? Get yourself a better mattress if you're not restful on your current mattress or in your current sleeping situation, or wherever it may be. Crank the AC down. That'll help you sleep a little bit better. Look, go Google how to sleep better, because even here, 6 hours of time, that should be more than enough to, get yourself rested. And what you're going to find is when you're building something, it's energizing. You might feel burnt out or exhausted at your current career, in your current job. And if you're having those feelings of being burnt out, of being exhausted, that's completely understandable. Because, look, I went through that same thing. Before I went into real estate, I had a job that I enjoyed for the first couple of years, and then started to fall apart. And I didn't enjoy it like I did. I didn't like it like I used to. And the reason why is I wasn't building really anything for myself. And what I was able to build, it was just so limited. It's almost like communism, that this is what you get and this is all you get. We live in America, and you want something, you could go and get it. There's nothing that's going to hold you back from being able to get what you want. But you have to go out there and do it. And you have to be in the right vehicle. Your career in a corporation, in some sort of organization, will have a cap, Whereas in real estate, and that's a big benefit that attracts a lot of people, is there's not a cap. But the trick is, the catch-22 is that you've got to work for it. It's not going to be handed to you. You've got to go out there and get it. So that's why you've got to plan out the time for this. So what are you going to do to build your business? Something that you need to be doing every single weekend. And I would say to try to do this both days on the weekend, but at the very least, at least do one of these every single weekend, and it's an open house. You know, we'll go say here for our Sunday open house that you do, you know, like 12 to 4 or 12 to 5, something like that you're doing an open house. Now, you might have seen our State of Real Estate episodes previously on open houses, and we've done a few of them on open houses. And, you know, if you really want to find in detail more about open houses, go and search our videos for open houses, and you'll find all kinds of information about, you know, how to hold an open house, what's important to do at an open house, and so on and so forth. But the reason why, just to make this simple and break this down real quick of why you need to be doing open houses. Look, with an open house, you're not just trying to sell a house. You're not just trying to sell a house. You're trying to meet people. You're trying to meet potential clients. You're trying to find potential buyers as well as potential sellers. Now, if you ask the question, what's the purpose of you getting a real estate license? And that's probably some version of maybe something you want to do, but ultimately you want to make money from that real estate license. You want to make money from the real estate license. What do you need to make money from your real estate license? You need commissions. You need closings. You need deals. And where do you get these from? You get them from clients. And where do you find these clients? You meet them at that open house. That's probably going to be your best source of clients as a new agent, is people coming into an open house. Now, again, it is your job now to convert them, and that's if you go watch some of those open house State of Real Estate episodes that we've done where we kind of talk about things it is you should know, say, and do when you're holding an open house. But if you do an open house correctly, you should have many people coming into this open house, 10, 15, 20 people potentially. If you're not doing your open house right, that's maybe where you have only a couple people going into the open house. But again, go watch those open house episodes to find out more about how to hold the open house. But you want to be doing these every week, and ideally both days, not just Sunday, but also Saturday. Now, again, that's scheduling conflict. And you know, maybe have your spouse take your kid to practice because you probably don't want to just watch them run laps around, the soccer field or whatever it is that they're doing. But you probably want to be there for the games. And I'm not going to be the one to tell you, miss out on your kids growing up because you're trying to build a business or something like that. Look, I understand that that's important, but how can you work around that? So we could still hold an open house. We still got time for that. That we, figuring off of this here, let's say it's 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. So there we've got another 4 hours of an open house. And now what's going to happen if we do 4 hours this day and 4 hours that day, 4 hours on Sunday and 4 hours on Saturday? We're going to double what it is that we get from open houses. We might meet 2 or 3 clients on this day and might be another 2 or 3 clients on that day. Now, if you're only doing one of those, you're meeting 2 or 3 clients, which better than nothing. But would you rather have 2 to 3 clients? Or would you rather have 4 to 6 or 7 or 8 clients? Because also the more frequency you have, the more often you do these open houses, the better it is that you'll get. And this is a great, I like to call it a sandbox to help practice your skills. Because with an open house, again, if you're marketing it correctly, you're getting a stream of people coming into this open house. You've got the stream of people coming into your open house. And with the stream of people coming in, you've got one after the other where you're able to practice your communication skills, to practice your real estate skills, your ability to show a house and talk to people and just establish that relationship. You're able to get better at doing that through these open houses. So even if you don't get any clients from an open house, that's all the reason right there to do an open house, is to practice your skills in this little sandbox. But now you would be very unwise to not take advantage of all the clients you've got walking in. You'd be stupid not to take advantage of these clients walking in, to take advantage of the fact that they want to buy real estate and they need somebody to help them buy real estate. And here you are meeting them, establishing that trust with them. And now what you could do, because chances are they're not going to want to buy these houses that you're holding open. Less than 1% of properties sell as a result of an open house. So less than 1% of properties sell as a result of an open house. So your goal here isn't to sell the house, it's to meet people. It's to establish relationships with these potential buyers as well as the nosy neighbors who are the sellers. So open houses. Now and look, see how we made that work? We could still go to our kids' soccer game. Yeah, maybe we don't have time to go drive them home afterwards. But again, that's maybe where we're having our spouse or somebody, a grandparent or whoever it is that's helping us with this, helping us achieve our mission and achieve our goal. So that's number one. Make time for open houses, because more than anything, that will help get your feet wet. That'll help you start building out your real estate business. But now what else do we need? Because it's not just open houses. Again, we need to get sales. We need to get deals. We need to get properties closed. And the open house alone isn't going to just get that done. Because again, less than 1% of properties sell as a result of an open house. So if we're just trying to get that property sold at that open house, we're going to be very unsuccessful. 99% of the time, we're not going to sell that open house. But you have buyers walking into the property who need to buy a house. They need a property, and we're a real estate professional that has access to all the properties out there in the world, or at least in our MLS area, at least in Florida where we're licensed. So we could show them any of the properties that they want to move to in the area. And what we want to do, ultimately, if they're not buying that house, which a 99% chance that they're not going to buy that house you're holding open, you want to set up an appointment of another property that you're thinking of. Another property that you're thinking of. And now, when are most showings done? Well, again, if we go back to the norm, the defaults of what people work, of working that 9 to 5 type of job, that they want to see them during the week, in the evenings. Hey, I've got some time on Monday night, we can meet at the property at 6:30, 7 o'clock. Let's call it 7 o'clock, 7 to 8. We go show that property. We do a showing there. Now we've got a buyer that we're showing properties. Or maybe with that seller, maybe we're showing some properties on the weekend as well. So what we could do, and this would involve you waking up early on that Saturday or Sunday, but you're out there, hey, look, I've got a little bit of time at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m., or I got a little time tonight on Sunday night at, 6 p.m., or again, that's where you're trying to schedule these appointments. So that's what you need to be doing there. So the weekend, that's your time to shine in real estate, because that's when people are actively out there looking for real estate. And that's your chance to hook them and say, hey, look, I can help you. And you should have me help you buy or sell your house, whatever it is that they're needing to do. But now, what is it that you also want to do during the week leading up to those, open houses? How to make those open houses more successful, and what else is it that you should be doing? What about your business cards? What about your website? What about your email signature? And what about all these other things that you would have in your real estate business? We're going to talk about that, but we're going to take a quick commercial break, so stick with us. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching State of Real Estate. Sometimes, look, that's completely understandable. That's why we're here to help. If you haven't already, check out our Success Center, tampaschool.com/success, or if you don't even know where to begin, give us a call. We'd love to help you out. We've got advisors standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way it is that we can. Our phone number is 813-928-0106. Again, that's 813-928-0106. Give us a call. We're the Tampa School of Real Estate. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. My name is John Carissimo. We're here from the Tampa School of Real Estate every single Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time, helping you mastermind to grow your real estate business. And what we're talking about today is how to start in real estate part-time. And why this is such a great way to start in real estate, because you still got your stability. We're not taking anything away from that current stability. Now, chances are, the more successful your real estate business is going to be, the more your current role and responsibilities in your job will start to suffer. But that's to be expected. That's to be expected, that you're starting some sort of business of real estate, that your job that you're already bored with, that you're already unfulfilled with, that you want, the reason why you started this career in real estate is you're looking for a better way to make money, that will start to suffer. So just be prepared for that down the road, that, as you start to grow this more, that's where things might cut in here. You might have to use some sick days for some things that, you can't reschedule or whatever it may be. And in real estate, it's so flexible, especially if you've got, somebody that you could trust in your office, who you're maybe able to cut in on a deal for when when maybe you want to go on vacation. That's a big myth and misconception in real estate, that, you go on vacation and your commissions stop. They don't have to. That's where a lot of agents, and why this whole, team concept that you see a lot, that real estate teams, and why these are formed. So you're not just a one-man or one-woman operation working in real estate. And you don't even have to be a big fancy team. You could just have somebody that you team up with to help you out. You help each other out when you've got these obligations. You've got a showing scheduled, but your spouse can't take your kids to soccer practice that night. What do? Well, you cut your person that you team up with in on the deal. You say, oh, John, I don't want to give up any of my commission. Hey, what's better, 100% of nothing or 50% of something? You split that deal with them 50-50, and now you've got a chance of it still closing because the client is getting serviced. They're getting their appointment. That was the only time that would work for them or work for the seller to show the property, or whatever the case may be. And even if you're not available, that's where you want to build that relationship with somebody where you guys are able to help each other out. Because, look, if you've got your friend in the office who's able to take over this showing, what are they going to do when they've got the same situation on their end? They're going to say, hey, John, I've got this client. I've got to do the showing here. I want you to be involved in this one. So can you take over this appointment for me? Yeah, sure. Let's split that one too. And now you guys have this back and forth. So that way you could still have a life. You could still, once you've transitioned maybe to working full time in real estate, you're still able to go on vacations. You're still able to, not miss important events because, again, you're in control. And that's another thing I think that a lot of new agents don't realize, just how much in control that they are. Even though you've got to join and register with a real estate brokerage, you're still very much a business within a business. You're a business within a business. And yeah, your broker's there to make sure you do everything legally and make sure that no one's going to get sued and so on and so forth. And there's certain things they require you to and to not do. But ultimately, you're still a business within a business. You decide when it is that you want to work. You're the one who creates this schedule of, okay, I'm going to do showings here, I'm going to do open houses here. But the key thing, and if you take away anything from today's show about starting part-time, is taking action. Actions that result in business, that result in deals. Remember, the goal is to make money with that real estate license. And what do we need to make money? We need commissions. We need closings. Now, let's reverse engineer this and think of what's the closest thing. Okay, so to get a commission, we need to have a closing. But in order to have a closing, we need to have a contract. And in order to have a contract, we have to have a client. So your number one priority, especially when you're first starting out in real estate, whether you're part-time or full-time, needs to be finding people that need to buy and sell real estate. Whether that's people you already know from your job, your coworkers, maybe even clients you have in this other job. Just be careful with doing that there, because again, like I said, the more your job suffers, the more likely you might just quit there, or they might fire you or something like that. But especially when you're first starting out, they're probably not even going to notice that you're doing something different. It's probably going to be when you're just ready to put in your 2 weeks notice that they say, hey, we're realizing that, you're not, your performance isn't as what it used to be. What's going on? Oh yeah, I actually wanted to give you this 2 weeks notice here because I've started a real estate business, as you know, and it's doing quite well. So thank you guys for everything you've done for me, but I'm ready to jump full time into my real estate career. And, you might dream about that day of when it could come, of when you could just, jump fully into real estate. But you've got to build that out. You've got to get to that point. Now, like I said before we went on break, what about business cards? What about your website? What about your email signature? Don't worry about those. I don't even use business cards. I don't use business cards. The reason why I don't use business cards is because I don't want to just give somebody a piece of paper, and I've got such a horror story about business cards. When I first got my real estate license, I didn't have anybody telling me what I should and should not do. I was out there, and part of it was me not asking for help. I was, again, the know-it-all that knew everything, that was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a great real estate career and a great real estate business. I don't need anybody's help. I know everything that I need to do. And I spent like a week designing a business card because I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to have the greatest business card and I'm going to give this to somebody and they're going to say, ooh, wow, look at this business card. I'm going to call this guy because look at his business card. Yeah, business cards serve a purpose. They're good to have. But I don't carry them. And the reason why I don't carry them, not only because of that horror story with business, how I wasted so much time worried about a stupid business card, that I was cherished so much that I was even afraid to even give out once I had it, because those business cards cost so much money, not only at the time of me designing it, but I paid for the extra fancy, the fonts and the extra heavy paper, and I had foil stamping on it and all kinds of crazy stuff like that. But look, now, when I meet somebody, oh yeah, I don't have any cards on me. Secret is I never have any cards on me. I don't have any cards on me. Here, what's your phone number? I'll text you my information. What do we have now? We've got their phone number, and we're able to initiate. Hey, it was great meeting you at our kids' soccer game tonight. It was great meeting you at the kids' soccer practice. Just out of curiosity, when are you and your husband thinking about selling your house? What's your guys' timeline on that? And we're now starting the discussion. Rather than them hoping that they call us back, and they're not because they probably threw out our business card or they lost our business card or whatever it is, we're right there in their text message inbox. And like 97% of text messages get read and opened within just a couple of minutes. So that's what you want, and that's why I don't carry business cards on. That's something that I've done for a while now, and it's way better than having business cards. Hey, I don't have any cards on me. What's your number? I'll go ahead and text you my info. Boom. Now we're in their text messages, and we can take charge of that communication. We're not sitting back. We're out there. We know what we want, and we're going out and taking it rather than waiting for it to just fall into our lap. That's something extremely important. Again, whether you're starting part-time or full-time, that nothing's going to just fall. Something will eventually fall into your lap. But that's what I was waiting for when I got my real estate license. I was waiting for things to fall into my lap. And then once I realized things aren't just going to fall into my lap, I was like, all right, well, I should probably figure out how to go take what I want. To go out there and find what I want and to go take what I want. And that's, again, however you're starting in real estate, what you've got to do to get your business started and to build an even bigger business. You might get to the point where you get a steady flow of business coming in because of referrals that you have from past clients, and you might get a steady flow of business from marketing that you do or whatever the case may be. But if you want to grow that, if you want to take that to the next level, that's where you've got to go out there and take it. You've got to be the one that goes out there and grabs that business. So look, that's about all the time we've got for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you've got questions or comments, drop that in the chat. We can help you out with that. Give us a call here at the school if you need to take the class to get your real estate license, or if you got to do post-licensing, continue education, you're trying to study for the exam. We've got the best exam study tools on the market. We're releasing some sales training courses as well. If you want to find out more information about that or any of the courses or anything we can do to help you, give us a call. That phone number is 813-333-2676. Again, that's 813-333-2676. It's about all the time we've got for today, so thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so that way whenever we go live, you get updates, you get notified. You go to tampaschool.com/success and see all the videos of State of Real Estate and Ask the Instructor and all the videos that we do every single day. Those are all posted on there daily, so check that all out or give us a call, 813-333-2676. You guys have a good weekend, and I'll see you next week. Are you studying for your Florida real estate exam? If you are, you need to check out our Pass First Try strategy. You're going to love this. It's 4 steps that we break down the process to study for your Florida real estate exam. So you're set up to pass your Florida real estate exam because that's what you're studying for, right? To pass your exam. It's 4 steps. Number 1, you learn the information. You've got to learn this to be able to pass the exam, but it doesn't stop at learning. Step 2, you've got to reinforce the basic, simple, key concepts. As you learn this information, keep reviewing the simple things. You don't need to know everything, but you got to review these basic key concepts. Step 3, you've got to test your knowledge. The exam's going to test your knowledge, so if you don't test your knowledge in advance, you won't find out if you know what you think you know until you take the exam. And then step 4 is be confident and prepared, because even if you know this material, you need to be confident that you know the material. Check out the full strategy at passfirsttry.com. That's passfirsttry.com. You're watching State of Real Estate.